Run, party, repeat. Welcome to the East Coast Adventures Dirt Vert Podcast, where we talk all things running, racing, and training to help you get ready for your next big adventure.
Learn from our successes and our failures, and have fun at the same time. Join us right here every week with inspiring guests who share their captivating tales from the trails. And remember, nobody cares.
Run faster.
All right. Welcome back to the Dirt Vert Podcast. I'm David.
And I'm Matt.
And we have Taylor Williams with us today. She's fresh off the attempt of the Cherokee 130K, which she trained her butt off for all year.
Mm-hmm.
She put in a lot of work for that. So it'll be a good story we'll get to hear here shortly. But ultimately, Taylor has been running since 2020, ultra running since 2024. She might have ran a little bit earlier than that. We'll find out her whole story here in a minute. But Taylor has quickly became a pretty damn good ultra runner.
Yep.
And she's also a coach now. And she is on the Nobody Cares Run Faster East Coast Adventures running team.
Yep.
So she's part of the ECA family, and she joins us for a lot of events and also helps us with a lot of events. So we wanted to give Taylor a chance to share her story. And so, Taylor, if you don't care, tell us a little about who you are and how you got into running.
Yeah. Hey, guys. I'm so happy to be here, getting to chat with not only friends, but teammates and just some awesome guys. So thank you. Gosh, I was an athlete my entire life. I grew up a gymnast. I played soccer. Soccer was really my main sport throughout childhood and into high school. But my grandfather and my mom were big runners. My grandpa actually grew up running track. He got a full ride to Mizzou. He's from like a little itty bitty town, Troy, Alabama. Went full ride with his twin brother for the 4x8, which is so cool. And then, of course, my mom got into running, and she was a marathoner, long-distance runner. She still runs so much faster than me. She's incredible. So she was kind of that person that was like, hey, you should do cross-country. So middle school, I got into cross-country a little bit. I think you run, 1.6 miles or something, so small for your race. And she said, okay, high school, you're going to have to run 3. And I remember I looked her dead in the eyes, and I was like, no. I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. No. So I didn't run cross country until senior year of high school, and I wasn't really good really at all. I kind of just did it to train for soccer. And then into college, I got into Orange Theory, just really did a bunch of cross training, HIIT, your typical workout style, and moved to Knoxville, got really into CrossFit. Got super burnt out for CrossFit. I was there six or so times a week. Just really not good for my body, if we're being honest. And me and 2 of my best friends, Rachel and Linda, were like, okay, let's run a half marathon. And I was at first I don't know. I had run my first half ever my freshman year of college, and I remember finishing, and I looked my family dead in the eyes and said, I'm never doing this again. That was terrible. And I was just crying. It was not a good experience, but I was like, okay, maybe if I'm with friends, then I'll get into it. It'll be fine. So long and short of it is we did the rock and roll half marathon in Nashville. I don't know if y'all have done that.
Yep.
Any of the rock and roll races. But it was super fun. Nashville was such a great vibe. There were people everywhere. The whole course was just kind of a party. And it was just a really fun and different thing to do. And we didn't hate it afterwards, which was a huge win for everybody. So we shifted away from CrossFit, kind of got into road running. And I had a friend take me out to South Knoxville. We have a wonderful trail system out here. And I just showed up. She goes, okay, we're going to run 8 miles today. And I was like, whoa, okay. I thought I was just showing up for a little trail run because I've never run on trails before. And we ran it, and immediately I was like, oh, this is different. This is going to be my thing. And since then, road running is not, I could stay far, 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 far away from there. Of course, I train on the road, but the trails is where I love to be. So from there, I got introduced to Mary, who we all know and love, who is my coach and dear friend. And I remember my first call with her. She obviously like didn't know who I was, what my background with running was. I really didn't even know what my background with running was, but I knew I was like, hey, I want to do a 50K and I want to do the Firewater. And this was like 3 months before it was happening. And she was like, you sure? I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I didn't know the first thing about running or trail running or anything, but I did it. And since then, it's just been this really cool opportunity to learn every day from people like y'all, from people on my team, from Mary, learn more about myself, my body, and what it can handle, what it can't handle, what I can learn to handle, and all the things. So, yeah.
For your first ultra, the Firewater,
Mm-hmm.
why did you pick that one?
It was local. So I'm in Knoxville. It's in Lenore City. I knew some people out there. I knew the trail system a little bit out there just from walking it. I had taken my dog out there to walk, and I knew it was like a safe place to go. But beyond that, I could not even tell you how I came across it. I think the girl that took me out on my first trail run had done it before, and she just like brought it up, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. Because she ended up doing it as well. And at first I was like, because there's a team option, I was like, maybe I'll get a team together so then I can just like run a segment, because I also wasn't sure about like training by myself on trail at that point in my career, I guess you could say. So it was really just random, if we're being honest, but it was the perfect little intro.
Yeah.
50K from what I've learned.
Yep.
It's a great 50K. I literally grew up on that trail.
Oh, really? Okay.
But before it was the trail.
Yeah.
So my parents live at Lauderdale Campground across the street. They live on that road. So when I was in high school and stuff, that trail wasn't there. I would have loved that, but it's, you know, after I moved away, they built that trail in, and it's just been really cool. So I was very familiar with the area. Me and my brother used to hunt in there all the time, so I knew some of those trails, but like they weren't like that.
Yeah.
It's really cool now. And it is a great first 50K.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because you can literally access, if you're a crew member, you can access every aid station from a road. Like, and it's not like you got to drive 14 hours to get to an aid station.
No,
like,
it's just
they're literally in a row, and it is so great that way. And you know, Firewater special to us because Tony and Kathy are the ones that taught me and Mike how to become East Coast Adventures.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So
that's neat.
We started running Tony and Kathy's races, and that's how we got to know Tony and Kathy. Mike and I started running KTC trail races.
Right.
Tony and Kathy have been on the board of KTC for a while. Like Tony was timing all the races. And then Mike pulled a full Taylor and went and signed up for the Firewater 100K.
Oh, excellent choices.
So back then, Taylor, they also had a 100-miler.
On that system?
So you actually started at the bridge and you ran the bridge in the center.
Coy
And you ran out and back from both directions. Yeah, it was kind of crazy, but they got rid of that because it's a perfect course for 100K and 50K. But Mike did the 100K, then I ended up doing the 100K at some point with him. And then from there, we just started kind of like talking to Tony and Kathy a lot. And we had the idea of the fort. Yeah. So the fort was our very first race. Tony and Kathy came, they helped us, they timed it. So they're very near and dear to our heart. And that's why we still put on races with them. Like Bigfoot 5K, we do with them. Very Scary, we do with them. And it's such a good race. They started, and the whole reason they started Firewater, there were not very many ultras. I mean, I think they were the first 100K, trail 100K around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was not one. And that's why they started doing race directing outside of KTC. That's why they started Magic Number events.
Right. Okay.
So really
I had
cool.
no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I also didn't realize it was that young of a trail, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Like the way it connects. The only odd part is running through, what's that golf course right there?
Wind River.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, why am I in the middle of people trying to play golf?
Pretty cool though, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might have came on after the fact of the trail. I'm not 100% sure how
Yeah.
that all worked, but it
Yeah,
is funny
I
when
bet.
you come out on the trail and all of a sudden you're running a golf course just
Yeah.
for a few minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's cool
And
though.
you look like I got mud all over me, and these guys are trying to like hit a hole in one, and I'm like, I'm sorry, like I'm just trying to get through.
Yeah, they got all
sorry.
They got all their nice clothes on out there, the polos. We're running through with mud and sweat and everything.
I look like a mess,
But
But it was cool. Like the aid stations, my grandfather actually came up for that race. And what was cool is like he doesn't know anything about trail running, but he was able to see me probably like every 4 miles. Like it was really short sections where they could meet me. I could get kind of revived, if you will. But they could be a part of the day too. It was so fun.
It's a cool race. I mean, Matt's fell in love with it. That's
Yep.
like Matt's dream race to win.
Ah.
He's going to run that race till he dies every year, I think.
So-
As long, I mean, he's doing no business this year,
Yep.
but as soon as he's done with that, I'm sure he'll be back trying.
So Taylor, also that was my first 50K, was Firewater.
Neat.
And
Yeah.
the first year I did it took me 8 hours and 14 minutes. I went out and I blew up at Coy T Bridge, and I walked it all the way to the finish line.
Oh man.
But I've run that race 6 years in a row, and
How close have you been to first?
2 times I came in the top 3.
Close. Okay.
It's close, but Cody Lionheart's pretty quick.
He's going to break the streak this year.
Yeah, so this year I won't be there. I will be at No Business 100.
Him and Mike
Yeah.
both are going back. Mike's going for the double buckle at No Business, and Matt's
Okay.
going for his first buckle at No Business.
I wish I could run No Business fast enough and get back and go do the 50K, but I'm not that good.
I mean, let's be real. If you get done that fast, you should come help me run the aid station.
That is true.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go.
All good.
There you go.
go.
Matt, have you done No Business before?
New.
This is your first time? Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. There's a good crew doing it too from
Yeah,
ECA.
we got quite a bit of us. I think me and Charlie, Teresa, Tasha, April, Cindy, maybe.
Luis and Corey.
Yeah,
Maybe
Corey's
Cindy.
doing it.
Is he doing it?
I think
Yeah.
Corey's
I thought
doing
he's
it.
crewing Teresa.
He,
I think Corey got his double. I think he's crewing Teresa.
Maybe.
I don't know. He may be doing it.
I can't remember.
Either way, it's going to be a good crew of
maybe
ECA.
maybe
fun.
he is crewing Teresa. I think he told me that.
It's going to be a lot of us.
Yeah, it's gonna be
A
cool.
lot of folks. Very cool.
And Mary and I will be at Firewater running our aid stations.
Woo woo.
And I don't know if you know this, Taylor, but Firewater is where Mary and I met.
Yes.
And
I've
that's-
heard the story. I
Yeah.
love it.
Well, that's where the tattoo now. That's the aid station.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
That's so neat.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. But now back to you. Let's talk about Firewater. Your very first 50K, you were smarter than most of us because you got a coach before you raced. That helps a lot.
Mhm.
And your time for your very first 50K is great. I mean, considering you had never ran an ultra,
Mhm.
and especially a trail ultra, which is way harder than running just, like running a 50K on a road versus 50K on a trail. It's a big difference.
Big difference, yeah.
Mhm.
So how did that go as far as your very first experience? And at what point did it get hard?
Yeah. First off, thank you. I'm sure we can touch on this later, but I struggle deeply with imposter syndrome. For you to say my time was good, it's so hard for me to accept that. So thank you. If I think back, gosh, almost 2 years ago. So one, I probably would have never run that if I didn't have a coach, because your girl had never taken a gel. Fueling did not know her. Did not at all. Bonked at that road marathon so hard, but didn't know what bonking was. That makes sense. So, really that training block was one, of course, getting my body ready and prepared to run that long and be out there that long, but also learning what fuel I could handle. because we all know, I would say over half of training is figuring out your stomach, your hydration, all the things, which I know now. I didn't know then. So it was a really good learning experience with that. I remember I started out way too fast, which don't we all? My adrenaline was so high. I was like, oh, I feel so good. Of course you do. You just started the race. And then I think I got to the bridge. I'm not even sure what mile that is now.
It's about halfway.
13.
Okay, is it? So
Yep.
I remember trying to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich there, and I ate like half, and I was like, I'm fine. I don't need it. Mistake. And I left that aid station, and then it was just like a slow decline, very slow decline of like my mental state. I had never experienced like GI issues. Obviously, it was my first ultra. So I just thought like the world was ending. I remember being so down in the dumps. I thought I was lost. You can't get lost out there. It was just like, I laugh now, but I was really so unwell. But the good thing, like we talked about, is like you hit those aid stations. I had my sweet crew, my mom and some friends and my grandpa following me, and they picked me back up, and ultimately I made it to the end. I remember it started torrentially downpouring, and if you know me, I hate the rain with a passion. So if it rains, I'm just like not a happy camper. But it rained a little bit, stopped raining, and made it to the finish line, which was my only goal. So then to turn around and recognize that it was like a decent time for my first one was like a big win too.
I honestly think that you were right behind me that year.
I remember you saying that on a group run.
I'm
Of course,
almost
I didn't know who anybody was, but I think you said
Yeah, Matt was 627, and you were 658.
Yeah, 30 minutes
we
behind
did
me.
get lost. Now that I'm remembering, so that section where you do like a loop and then you come back up, I didn't know. I'd never been out there. Someone had turned the arrow or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that twice.
Yeah.
So I think I had run like an extra, I don't know how much that is.
Yes. Yeah. So it might have been the same year. Yeah, probably. But somebody did the same thing. And so Brandon was running the relay, and me, Cody, and Melinda, and then there was a couple guys in front of us, but Cody ended up catching all of them. And we came up, and Melinda and Cody both started going left, and I go, that's not right.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, what do you mean? I said, we go right here. We go to the aid station.
Yeah.
And Melinda's like, how do you know? I'm like, Melinda, I run out here all the time. I know this is not right.
Right.
And she takes a few steps, and then the steps go down. And I'm like, yeah, Melinda, so I turned it, and I told John, but I guess by the time they got out there to actually fix it, other people had been running in circles down there on that loop.
Mm-hmm.
Melinda should know that course more than any of
Melinda
us.
should know the course.
I mean, I met Melinda at that age, or at that race.
Yep.
At that race.
Yeah, she's ran that race for as long as I can remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
She shouldn't even need a
I know it.
mark.
I know it, but I saved them, and then I look down and I see Brandon running that loop again, and I'm like, Brandon, what are you doing? He goes,
No.
I think I'm lost. I'm like, yeah, finish the loop, come up here and turn right. And he did, and he ended up, blasting. I think he caught me again, but yeah.
So when you blew up, had the kind of the stomach GI issues, and you thought you were lost, that just adds more stress to your body. But like, that's just, when you cross the bridge, you're just really getting to the hard part of the trail. Like, there's not a very hard part, but that's probably the most technical part, is going through those rocks and stuff back there on the Bakers Creek side, and those winding hills.
Yeah.
How did you enjoy that, going through, being in that mindset at that point? Like, did you walk it out, or did you get back to running, and were you able to run?
I am, and I still am this way. If it's an uphill, I'm power walking. That's like, I'm power hiking. Power walking is not great. Power
And
hiking.
she's good at it.
I love some power hiking. I'm not quick.
Yeah, you are.
You are quick.
She is quick.
I've heard this from many people. Corey Clark told me you pass him every time you go power hiking.
Oh, when we climb hills together on the group runs, she's gone. She is gone.
That's a superpower. You
It
and
is.
Mary both. Mary's a good hiker, so you both are awesome at that. That's a good skill to have.
It is.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. So I remember doing that because I was coached by Mary. That's what I was told to do, is to hike the uphill so you don't burn out and blow up. So I remember, I mean, that is probably where the most vert in that, if not all the vertical in that race is right after the bridge.
It's
So I
after
just
the
remember
bridge,
walking.
and
Yeah,
then there's one more section. But
most of it's in that middle section.
Yeah. So I remember walking. And then, to be honest with you, it's kind of a blur of what was happening. I think I was so focused on like fighting for my life that I just black out. Couldn't remember. But I made it.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it felt like when you crossed the finish line?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I was very happy. Not that I didn't think I would finish, but it was kind of like that, oh my gosh, like, did I actually just do that? And I will say, like, every finish line that I cross, I am still in that mentality because it is still so new to me. Like, y'all probably remember, I crossed the Cherokee 70K finish line last year, and I was just, like, a mess out of just, like, in awe of what my body was capable of doing because I truly don't know the limit yet, which is so special and such a blessing. So every finish line for me is emotional because, one, it's a blessing to have it, and two, like, it constantly reminds me of the body that the Lord's blessed me with and that I'm able to do what I'm able to do. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a gift to be able to do what we do. Yeah, so you finish Firewater. You go then and sign up for Gone Loco in February, and you run the 11 miler there. But then you pick one of the hardest races I think you could have picked around here, and that's the Cherokee 70K.
Yeah.
Which we just talked about a little bit. And I understand kind of why you picked Gone Loco. Like it's it's kind of a half trail, half fun, half fast race. And, you can, people enjoy that kind of, rail trail system. And that's kind of a race that no matter what you enjoy, like whether it's trail or road, you can enjoy that race.
Kind of get
both
of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Cherokee, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
And especially being in the summer. So you do the 70K. Why the Cherokee?
Yeah. Well, one, I had done Gone Loco because I was kind of in this season after Firewater of going quicker. I did a road half in January back where I'm from in Naples. So I had that speed under my feet, and I was like, okay, it'd be fun to like just go out to Gone Loco and spend time in the community, meet people, experience Eureka, which is a fabulous trail. I don't know how it's uphill both ways, but it is. I don't care what anybody says. It totally is. It's magic. But then after that, I truly did not know what was next. And I remember the call with Mary I had. I told her I was in a really hard spot with my career, just some life things going on. Nothing that I felt I had control over, which is a really hard place to be in. And I told her, I said, hey, I want something really hard, but something that I think that you think that I can accomplish. And she said, have you looked at the Cherokee 70K? And I verbatim said, I have, but it says you need a water filter, and I don't know how to filter water. And she just kind of laughed at me and was like, we can learn how to do that. Like, that's not a problem. I was like, okay. So that's why Mary's been such a big blessing to my life. And part of the reasons why I started coaching as well is she sees the potential I don't see in myself. So she truly called that out of me and said, hey, this is going to be your race. She didn't demand it, but she brought it up and said, I think you can do it. And of course I was like, okay, sounds good. So from then on, it was training for the Cherokee and really diving deep into running outside of South Knoxville by myself, because I had never really run trails alone outside of our trail system here. Going to group runs and going out to the course, which I'm so thankful I live like a decent distance away where I could go for a day.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of breaking down every fear and doubt I had in myself before the race. So then when I showed up on the start line, I could have as much confidence I could in myself to kind of step into it. And yes, I was still stepping into some unknown because race days are always different, but I prepared well, and I prepared to the best that I could, or at least I knew I could. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, your time shows it, and even at Gone Loco, you were podium. You were third female in the 11 miler. 70K, you were fifth female, 12 hours. And that's a damn good time for the Cherokee 70K. I mean, we had people finish that last year. I mean, that went to 20 hours, for a 70K. And that speaks volumes to that race. And, it's not just the elevation. Like, it has 10,000 feet of elevation. That's not terrible. But when you throw in 90 plus degree weather and 10,000 feet elevation gain, that's different.
Yeah.
Cooling your body, keeping your stomach under control, those all become factors that are very hard to control. And, you try to control what you can control, but, obviously Mother Nature has its own way of unraveling some of your training.
Right.
And I feel like you had a really solid performance there.
Thank you.
Like, I still think that was probably your best race so far. Like, because I would agree. You were like locked in, and I remember when you crossed the finish line, there was a lot of emotion. A lot of emotion. But I think you were kind of proud of yourself for doing something so damn hard by yourself.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't think I could do it, and that's why all that emotion came up. Because you think of 40 plus miles, and like that was so daunting. That was so daunting to me. When I had never run over a half marathon just less than a year before. But it was because of the encouragement of other people, y'all, just everybody, that I was able to. Running's not a solo sport at all.
What gave you, at what point did you feel confident in the race?
In the race itself, I think I was confident at the start line. I would say that race, I had the most confidence I've ever had walking into a race. I would say, at Stump Jump this year, I was nervous. Before the 130 this year, I was very anxious because it's all unknown. The 70K, I knew I had done a training run that was just 10 miles short of what I was going to do out there. So I had the confidence and the mileage under my feet to do it. I tested a lot of fuel, a lot of nutrition. I felt like I had everything lined up and ready to go. I am from Florida. I love the heat. I love the humidity as much as people despise it. So I knew that weather was a factor, but I know that my body runs well warm, like a winter race. I do not love a winter race. So I believed in myself because it felt in reach, if that makes sense.
Well, I know with the group runs that we did, your performance out there, I even came back and told Mary, I said, Taylor's going to be fine. We would go out, and on the turnaround part, you were standing up there with me. You were right there with me, or, leaving me, and then we catch back up. So I knew at that point, I mean, even on the hard side of the Hiwassee, when we did that 20 miler, you were fine. You had, you were running great. And then when we do the Watch Easy climb, you had no problem. And then you would go do the Watch Easy climb by yourself. So then at that point, I knew that, okay, her confidence is built up where she's going out there by herself, not with the group run. And she's putting in these 20, 30 milers out there in thunderstorms on Fridays. It's like you could see that happening. So I could see your confidence and your ability was just, I mean, it was there.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember the one training, I would pinpoint one specific training run that I was like, okay, I got this. And it was that 30 miler I did right before my taper. Is I went out to the course and started at the beach, ran up Old Furnace, and then made that little river crossing right before you climb Wacheezy, like an aid station for myself, and climbed Wacheezy twice, like a complete psychopath. But I was like, if I can do this, I can make it through. And then little did y'all tell me that 7 mile section after whatever aid station that is
Unicoi Gap.
10 times worse. 10 times
Unicoi
worse.
Gap.
Everybody seems to say that that's the worst part of the race.
It is. That was the first thing I told Matt.
It's a sneaky spot that Taylor missed that group run.
I did.
So she missed it. And we only do one group run of that one. And we don't talk about it a lot.
Nope.
But that middle section from Unicoi to Smithfield, it's in that perfect spot of, I think, you get that runnable section after Buck Bald. And you're like, there's a road coming up after this section. There's a road. Well, you've got a 2 mile climb in there that's a 1,500 foot climb or so.
Oh, yeah.
That's not that, like it's more single track. So you're staying there with it. And it breaks people down. Like, even when I mark it, it sucks. Like, I mean, I'm in that climb forever, it feels like.
Don't worry, you're going to get to do it Saturday.
Yeah, I am.
You're talking it up
I'm
real
so
well.
pumped for y'all. I'm so sad I'm out of town. But I told Mary, I was like, I need live updates. I'm so excited for y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone, it was Steven yesterday. I was talking to Steven last night, and he said, man, I've got a wedding to go to this weekend, or I would be there. He's like, I want to see this. He's like, I think it's cool that you guys are just like, yeah, we're not really trained, but we'll do it.
So not trained. So not trained for this.
Oh, no.
All good.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be easy. Yeah, fun.
I mean, when will we have the opportunity to do that?
True.
There you go.
You got to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Good outlook.
We got good people in DCA family. So you're kind of a veteran now with the Cherokee. You've done it 2 out of the 3 years it's been around. So
and she's put probably close to top 10 miles just on the course. Not just racing, but training miles. She's put a lot of miles out there.
Well, and you had a really, we'll get into that here shortly, but you had a really good training block this year. But for last year in the 70K, it was a great performance. You did a great job. You were 5th female overall. And that's at the point, that's your longest distance ever.
Yeah, it is.
With probably double the elevation of anything you've ran.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And you got a thunderstorm in the middle of it. So it was great.
I swear it rained the whole race.
climbing up her favorite part, she got a thunderstorm
coming
down on her.
Could not see my hand in front of my face. Like, just downpouring. So, like, you're hiking this section I'd never hiked before. It's downpouring rain. I did not like anything about that section.
Could have used some of that rain this year, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tough out there.
Well, and as far as like your stomach, everything go okay?
In the 70K? For the most part, yes. I was really good about eating throughout the day. I'm so thankful for our volunteers and the aid stations that y'all have out there. I ate a quesadilla at every aid station. That was like my go-to. Grab a cheese quesadilla and just keep walking. So I truly didn't have any issues that put me down bad that year, which was also a good learning experience in seeing what like fueled me well and what I could tolerate. So,
well, and there's no thanking us for any of the volunteers. That's them.
They're
now, I will say one of the best things we've ever done is put Micah Borgen in charge of volunteers, because he will follow up with them until till he's blue in the face, and like he will always stay on top of trying to find people, and that's something that we've not really ever had.
Yeah.
Someone to make sure that there is enough volunteers for every aid station. Micah does it to a T. But the cool thing is that we just have so many good volunteers.
Yeah.
And that is so different. Like, Sam Monig was so upset this year. They had a family vacation or something planned. So, she was saying that she'll be back next year, but like she was upset that she missed it. She enjoyed it that much. And like, that is so cool to have volunteers like that. And it means so much to people that are doing the first time, like their longest distance ever.
Yeah.
When you're out there like you're talking about. And it's a game changer. And especially in a race that is already hard enough as it is, the most important thing we can ever do is give you the best opportunity possible to finish it. And I feel like our volunteers are so good at that.
Yep.
So good. The community, the trail community is unmatched. And I will say that as long as I'm here. It is like the people, the fact that I like have such a close community, and I've been with y'all for like maybe a year and a half. Like it's changed my life personally. And I know it's changed the lives of so many people. So to just walk in with welcome arms is kind of unheard of in this day and age. So I'm very thankful for it.
And we're thankful for all of you guys. It's this community wouldn't be what it is without everyone that's in it. And, and that's the one thing that we get complimented on the most. After Cherokee, we got several emails about, the course was beautiful and, it was marked well.
Right.
90% of our emails were, your volunteers were amazing. They saved my race. Your volunteers were so kind. Your volunteers helped me so much. Your volunteers went out of their way. They didn't care to touch my gross feet. They did, like whatever. It was email after email after email. And all you can say back to them is like, yes, we have wonderful volunteers, because that's just a blessing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's part of what makes this, like you were saying, makes the community so special. It's because people are so open and welcome.
Yep.
Yes.
And we tried to make that the culture from the very beginning. It's why we stood at the finish line hugging everybody that comes through for years. And we try to always be there. And I feel like that has just kind of like grown exponentially. And now we get that same love back from our volunteers, and it's just so cool. And it's also cool too that like the volunteers, like last year, the Smithfield girls, they
all ran this year.
Yeah, they all decided, well, hell, we're going to go run it this year, and I love that. That is so cool.
It is so cool.
And it hurt.
Yeah.
It hurt to lose them from the aid station, but Micah was able to fill gaps, and Tony and Kathy jumped in from Firewater and ran the aid station. And that stuff's important, but it's so important for you, as a runner. And I'm glad that you said that, because it is a key part of being successful at that race.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. You wouldn't make it through. You could. It wouldn't be as enjoyable without them at all. In a spirit way, bringing more joy to the race, but also just in a logistical, food, water, care way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well said. What was your favorite part of the race for the 70K? That was your first time ever running the whole race like that. You'd ran sections, but what was your favorite part?
Oh, man. That day was filled with so much joy. I'm trying to think of a bad part that would make the good part better, if that makes sense. But truly the whole, there you go. You answered it for me. So really, beyond that section, I just had the best time. Friday at 6 a.m., I woke up in a little bit of a panic. My mom was supposed to fly up, and she was going to be my crew. And I woke up to 4 texts from her, and I thought was going to say like, okay, made it to the airport, boarded, like taking off. And instead it was like, flight was canceled. What do I do? I'm not sure. And I was like, oh no, So like instant tears, didn't know what to do. So I called my really good friend Shauna, and she was like, I'll be there, which was the biggest blessing. So my friends Shauna and Anna, and then Shauna's son Owen, were my crew for the weekend. And just having them there at each section made the day so much fun. Whenever I was just like down in the dumps, they'd pick me back up. They were just like the perfect people to run to. But then also, I would say it was truly my first trail race where I was out there with y'all and with the people I got to see at each aid station. I kind of saw that magic happening, which I feel like, and you kind of called it out of me, David, I need to reflect on that more, because as we're in this community more and as we run more races, I don't want to grow remiss of the fact that that's special, because it could easily get that way. I would even like say for myself running this year, the 130, I didn't take note of that as much. I was kind of just so locked in on my race that I didn't take a second to look up and like see Sam at her fabulous aid station with all of the Wonderland stuff. Like, why did I not take a second to step back? Like a few minutes is not gonna make or break me, right? So I should reflect on the 70K more, because it was my first time of like, oh, this is really special. This is a really cool opportunity that I get to be a part of something like this.
You know, that is a really, really hard thing to do in a big race.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought it up, because it is something that all of us do. And when it's our A race, when it's our big race, and we have poured miles and miles and miles of training and, you know, sucking down so many gels that you want to throw up in your training. And you get to the race and you're a little anxious. You know, you're not always nervous. Once you've done a lot of races, you don't really get nervous, but you get kind of anxious of like, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do this. And then you start the race and you get so dialed in, or so focused, I guess I should say, not really dialed in, but so focused on meeting your expectation that you miss the special moments of people. And that's really easy to do. And I'm glad you brought that up, because that, you know, reminds me sometimes that I need to do that as well. But like everybody needs to kind of step back sometimes, and it can be your A race, but also still remember the people that's out there. And man, if anybody lives that to a T, it is Mary Kate's.
Yes. Her and her thank you notes.
I know. It was so funny. And I don't know if I've not really told anybody this, but you know, for like Friction Prescription, I was playing around one day and I was making avatars for like Meg and Corey. And I was literally just like pulling pictures and, you know, just a picture of them, and I would let it create it, because obviously AI will learn a little bit about them and create it. When I made Mary's, I don't know if you've ever noticed the avatar when we do share it, like on her story on occasion, it put the thank you cards in her hand.
Did it really?
Yes.
Without any, that is why.
And I don't know where, if it like pulled something from a Facebook thing or what, but it literally has the thank you cards in her hand.
That's pretty cool.
And for people that don't know that, like, I'm not saying go do this, but I'm just saying this is the reflection. Like, this is something like to help, you know, remove some of the anxiousness or focus. But like Mary will she'll write hand thank you notes, cards, and at her big race at her aid station, she'll give the aid station captain that card. And I mean, she's even given them to us. So, you know, when she ran World's Fair, she come around and gave them to the aid stations, you know, and that's just what she does. And and I'm not saying to do that, but I'm just saying, like, take a step back on occasion in your big race. You don't have to stop running, but just look up. Look at the people that's helping you. And, you know, it may change your perspective just a little bit to brighten your day. And that's always needed in those big races. And man, my Yeti 100, I should have done that more.
Right.
You know, you just lose that.
You do.
So
I think about the 130 and I was like, man, did I stop for just a second? And I didn't, except at the turnaround because I needed a second. But still then, like, I did not take the time to look April in the eyes at the turnaround and say thank you, which I should have. And of course you could do that after the fact, but I just think during the race, it's so important.
Yeah.
It's so important.
yeah. And what themes? I mean, we had amazing themes this year. I mean, we even had a Cheesy Waffle House like up there going. Amelia turned hers into a Waffle House. Sam had the Alice in Wonderland going.
Mm-hmm.
Wild Her, they had people everywhere. They were like loving on everybody that came through that aid station. We got just so many compliments all the way through.
Yep.
It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
For the 70K,
Mm-hmm.
you did great. You finished, boosted your confidence, I'm sure, a lot to help you with this amazing training block you had. But also at the same time, like, you threw in some races in the middle. You did Dirt Circuit before, the end of the year, and you did Barn Creek. You did great at both. You were first female at Dirt Circuit for the 6 hour, fourth overall female at Barn Creek. And that was probably your longest distance at that point. You went 54-ish miles.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do Stump Jump this year, which is an extremely technical, it's a hard race. It's hard.
Matt knows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Bad Beer Jenny is a great race director. She's awesome. And it was fun to see you guys out there doing that. But that's still nothing like the Cherokee 130K. And when you did Stump Jump, I've heard the story. Matt was talking about it. Matt and Mike, they had a hard day at the Stump Jump.
Sure did.
And they were just telling me the whole story, and it was funny. I was laughing with them, and and that when you have a bad day, you just have to laugh about it.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do. But
Nope.
you had a decent day out there.
She sure did.
So good job. But
Thanks.
was that race specifically put in there for the Cherokee?
It was meant to be a training race.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I didn't necessarily build up to it or train for it.
Did you race it, or did you treat it like a long run?
I treated it like a long run. Even if I attempted to race that day, it was hard. It was a tough day. That race was the first time in a race situation where I had stomach issues, just like felt terrible, dehydrated. I truly ran into roadblocks that I had to solve in a race versus in a training run, which why in my head they're different, I'm not sure. I'm still trying to learn that and figure that out, but it felt different because it was a race. Whereas in a training run, I feel like I do better at working through and solving through those things in my head.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's something we all just continue to get better at.
Mm-hmm.
The more it happens.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a great training race.
Sure is.
I mean, it really is.
It's a hard race.
Yep.
And it's really cool that it's probably it's probably the oldest race in Tennessee.
25 years this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if it is the oldest race in Tennessee. I'm not 100% sure on that. I know it's one of the oldest races in the U.S. overall, but I wonder if it's the oldest race in Tennessee. We should look that up. I bet it probably is.
I don't know.
It's
Ball
beautiful,
State
too.
started a long time ago. I don't know.
Yeah. But Ball State started as a fat ass race. It wasn't a real race.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that goes back to. That.
Yeah. I'd be curious. That might be. Who knows? Good
It might
question. But now, all set aside, that's a great training race for the Cherokee. And you trained so hard for this race.
She did.
Yeah.
And I saw your mileage. I saw your race, your long runs. Like, you were doing great. I even told Mary, I was like, Taylor's killing it. Like, Taylor's going to do great. And you did great. But somewhere in the middle, I know it was super humid. It was probably the hottest freaking day in July this time. And so far, up until this year, we have been
Mhm.
blessed with the coolest day in July almost
Yep.
every
No.
year. Complete opposite this year. I mean, people
Mhm.
that ran the Wacheezy Challenge, I told Matt, it was like people were across the finish line. Some were just laying down on the ground. Like it
Mhm.
was a hard, hot day,
Mhm.
and humid day.
Yeah.
So, but you know, every time I was following your tracker, I was watching you. I couldn't be out on the course this year, unfortunately. I didn't get to see anybody,
Mhm.
but I was trying to follow along on the tracker, and people were giving me updates, and I thought you were doing great. And then I'd
Mhm.
heard that you dropped,
Mhm.
and or that I don't know if you dropped or timed out. I'm not 100% sure. I think you
I dropped.
dropped.
Mile
Yeah.
61.
So what ended up happening? Did you just bonk, or did you have issues, or?
I did not bonk, and I think that that's the hardest thing to digest. Still is I had stuff left in the tank physically. I the whole day was hard. Even from the start, I just felt off. I was so anxious leading up to the race, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I just could not calm my body down at all. So I took off on the start line, and I got in early miles actually with Corey Luis and a couple other folks, which was that calmed me down a little bit. I was like, okay, like I've been here before. I climbed Wacheezy. I love Wacheezy. I love power hiking. So I made it up, and I was running down Wacheezy, and I just remember being like absolutely soaking wet. I was like, this is not going to go my way. This is not good, because it was hot, and it was humid. I didn't feel overheated. It takes a lot for me to get overheated. I think just that is a benefit to being raised in Florida. That's just what my blood is used to.
Mm-hmm.
But the humidity kicked my butt. I could not stay dry. I was wet. I was losing so much fluid to the point where then it was hard to eat. I was really on top of my nutrition with gels, failed to eat solid food. Why did I do that? I don't know. I think I just wasn't thinking. So truly, after that road section, right after Wacheezy, I hit that aid station, and I already was having like some stomach issues, hard to get stuff down, did not want to eat. And that's so early in the race, you guys. Like that is too early in the race. So from that point, honestly, until the turnaround, it was very much like up and down, high, low, stomach hurt, this hurt, all the things that we all experience, but it had never been something that I hadn't gotten through before, which is what I tried to keep my mindset locked in on is, okay, I've been here before. I've experienced this before. Run a couple more miles. You'll get over it. It's just another hill, which we all do when we're racing these races, right? I hit the turnaround, and I changed my clothes because I was soaking wet, but I did not change my shoes because my feet at that point were fine, totally fine. And retrospectively, that was a huge mistake. So I took off from the turnaround, and I tripped and fell into this big old mud pile, which was terrible. Got a whole bunch of mud in my shoe, and I was like, oh crap, like this is not good. So I kept going, and it just felt like I had a bunch of sand in my sock. My feet just got absolutely tore up. My whole body just started getting tore up. I did not reapply friction prescription, which shout out to y'all. Y'all kept me good up until I didn't reapply, which was my bad. And ultimately, between that and chafing, that's what took me out. And what I will say is I sat down at the bottom of Buckbald, and I was a mess. Thank God Mary was there. Mary took off my shoes. She's rubbing stuff on my feet. We're changing my socks. I'm just like, I'm done. Jason Bailey came out. He was pacing me for a little bit of that section, so he was standing there too. And I put my shoes back on, and I got up, and I started walking up Buckbald, and I just looked at Jason, and I was like, I cannot. I'm in so much pain. And from there, it was hard, but like I knew deep down, I was like, I can't go further, which is so hard to admit. It's so hard to admit. But once the letdown of that happened and the next morning I reflected, I was like, okay, I learned so much from that. One, a girl with thick thighs needs to be in biker shorts. I don't care what anybody says. But two, like, I needed to fuel better before. I needed to eat more solid food. I don't know why I got away from eating at every aid station. Again, it was because I was so focused on the finish line, getting through, beating the time caps, beating all of that, that I was just so in and out. And I did not need to do that. I would have been just fine. So I learned a lot, and I still had gas in the tank.
Well, and
which
that's a good takeaway to know that you still had, plenty left in the tank.
It is.
Was this new spots that you were chafing?
It was. See, all new.
I just experienced that this year. I've never chafed under my armpits.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I do that
and
now.
I don't know what's changed. Maybe I'm sweating more.
Yeah,
but
more salty.
I went on a 6 mile run of this is funny, like 2 months ago. And, I put friction prescription on every time I run because I'm not taking a chance, but I've never put it on my armpits.
Right.
Ever. I've never put anything, even before, prescription. When we ran Ball State, I didn't put nothing on my armpits. I've never shaved under my armpits, really. I had one episode one time where I shaved, but it was because salt had dried and it was at night.
Yep.
Yeah.
But never like during a run. I came in and got in the shower, and I'm pretty sure Mary heard me yell.
Ooh.
I mean, I was like, whoa, what? And I got out and like, it's all red. So now I have to put prescription on under my armpits. And I'm just like, that sucks though, to find that out in a race.
Yeah. It hurt.
Was that the farthest you've went?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Because the farthest before was Barn Creek.
So you had not tested.
Didn't know.
Yeah. So when did it start in the Cherokee?
The turnaround when I was dry. Because I got dry at turnaround, which was the goal, because I was it also started pouring rain for like 20 minutes right before I hit the turnaround. So I was just soaking wet. So I was like, okay, let's get dry. Let's grab my headlamp. You're going to be good in the dark. It'll cool off. And I was honestly excited. I get nervous running in the dark just because I don't have a ton of experience with it. But I was like, it's cooling off. Maybe that'll help digestion because it's harder for everything going on in the heat. But then that happened and I was like, oh, I just had nothing to help me. Unfortunately, I didn't carry it. So now I know I will carry friction prescription until I hit the finish line with me always, because it would have saved my race.
Always have a go pouch with you.
Always.
And that's a little stick.
And that's the thing. That's the thing is everybody is slightly different in their, sweat, even the makeup of their sweat. And that's what's been interesting, just learning some of this stuff is like, your sweat concentration as far as salt and all that plays a difference in how long your anti-chafe will last. The best stuff in the world still may not get you to 100 miles if you sweat and you have certain parts that keep rubbing all the time. And here's a interesting thing that, like, we have one runner, his name's Alec Klein. He can run 100 miles on one application for a prescription.
Blessed. Could not be me.
We have other people that have to apply it about every 30 miles.
Right.
And, and it just depends on, and that was the same way with me and anything I've ever used. Some of them I would get a couple of hours. Others I would get, 20 miles. And it just depends on, what part it was.
Yeah.
But also how humid it is.
Right. And it was very humid that day.
But it also makes a difference in what you're wearing. And that's a big piece too, is like you said, was you wearing compression shorts or were you wearing?
No, I wasn't, which was a mistake. And you will never not catch me in those now.
She's wearing little pink shorts.
I was wearing my little pink shorts.
That's right. What are you training?
Those.
Your pink shorts?
And that's the thing. Like, I know to never wear anything new on race day. I've been told that since my mom had me doing cross country in middle school. Like that, nothing new on race day. And that was the thing. I think it was just I'd never been out there for over 51 miles, which was at Barn Creek when I was doing loops. So if I needed something, I could get something quickly, right? So I think it was just the unknown distance in that. So now I know.
Do you use the stick or the 10?
I used the stick, and then I used a go pouch on my feet, which was great. And now I'm a big fan of those.
Yeah.
So
the stick, we've kind of got some math behind this now. The stick's good for about a 50K.
Mm-hmm.
The 10 is good for about 50 miles.
Okay.
Or the go pouch. They're they're both different formulas.
Mm-hmm.
So the stick is harder. It's a different kind of formula. It's the same ingredients, just different formula.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 10, which was actually designed because Matt and about 12 other people didn't want a stick. They wanted something to apply with their hands.
Yep.
So,
Fair.
Chris and I went to the lab and played around with the 10, and it has a lot more. We put a little bit more of the water barrier and stuff in it to make it thinner.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually get, and what we've learned is people really love the 10 and the go pouch for long runs and the stick for short runs. But the go pouch or the 10, that's probably why your feet did so well.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to switch to the go pouch or 10 for long races for everything, and see if that helps you.
Yeah, I bet it will.
That is a painful way to finish a race.
Yep. It is. And I did not want to, but also it was pretty gnarly, to say the least.
It's awful. It is one of the worst ways to be in a race. It's not fun. We've all been there.
I've been there.
Because it's easy to, I've literally done the same thing you did at Yeti 50 2 years ago, whenever I ran it 3 years ago, the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to apply. This might have been before Frick's prescription. I think it was. But I used to apply stuff every 20 to 30 miles.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have any problems. And I met Mary at the turnaround, and I'm like, I'm good.
Not good.
Mile 45. I'm so glad I only had 5 miles left. At mile 45, I was like, oh, this is not going to be a good shower today.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm sorry that I hope that you come back to the Cherokee to attempt the 130K again, because you are one of the stronger females that can finish this race.
Agreed. Completely agree.
But I also know that you spent half your life of running training for this race. So I get that you may not want to come back anytime soon, but I do hope you do at some point, because you deserve that finish, and you deserve to be one of the few on there that will eventually earn that double buckle. I think you can. I know you can.
Well, looking back this last year in 2025, I believe Kat, she also made it to Buck Bald and she dropped. And I believe Ashley also made it to the same location and dropped. And then they both came back this year and both finished the race.
So also, I think what happened to you is the exact same thing that happened to Kat.
It is.
And she started using friction prescription right after that. And, but I felt bad for her last year when she was telling me that, because I was like, you've got to start using something.
Yeah.
We gave her some friction prescription and she's been using it since. But that's the thing about a summer race.
Mm-hmm. You don't know until you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you've never chafed I think it might have been Noah. Noah wanted to have a call before he did his first 100-mile race. So me and him talked. And the one thing I told him is, I was like, I don't care what you use, squirrel's nut butter, salty britches, prescription, it doesn't matter. But you need to use some type of anti-chafe. He's like, I don't shave. I was like, you will in a 100-mile race. I was like, please don't let that be the reason you don't finish a race. Right. I was like, I don't care if you don't shave or not, use it.
Have it with you.
And because like exactly, you don't know
Mhm.
until you've done it.
Yep.
And when you get in these further miles, that's when it really pops up. And that is
Oh,
the
yeah.
worst way to find out that you should have applied some type of lube.
Mhm.
Oh, I still remember Emmanuel.
Oh,
The first time he came and ran, he's running races. He's never had the issue. And then he started going longer, and then issues popped up, and he's like, "What do I do?" I'm like, "You don't use any anti-check?" No. I'm like,
None.
well, now
Oh,
we're
man.
gonna learn. Now
Yep.
this is something that you have to be, on top
Right.
of early. Don't
Right.
wait till you start feeling it, then try to figure it out.
Taylor, he was
Yeah.
bleeding.
Yeah. Oh, I
Like,
believe
bleeding
it.
bad. And he was only 12 hours into his 24-hour race.
No. And I mean, at that point, you're
And
like,
at that point, you're
there's
in trouble.
nothing to
He
do.
applied, and we
He
gave him
ran.
some stuff, and he finished the race.
He did.
What
got more
what was
willpower than
funny
me.
though is it was that same year. That was at the Fort Frenzy.
That's for it. Yep.
Dirt circuit. He comes back, and he's telling me and me and everybody else, like, no more chafing. He's great. It's been good. He gets halfway into dirt circuit. He's doing 24-hour there too. He's halfway in the dirt circuit, and he come over and he's like, his nipples are chafed so
Oh.
bad. And I
Oh,
said,
no.
Manuel, did you not put lube on your nipples? He's like, you can do that?
You put it
And
anywhere.
I'm like, dude, you could take a bath in that stuff. It
Put
doesn't
it
matter.
everywhere.
And he's like, oh, and he went and put it on. He's like, so much better.
Yep.
everywhere. Just put
Yep.
it everywhere. Solve
Yep.
the issues early. Everywhere.
Yes.
So you made it. You were going up Buckbald, and
Yep.
you told your pacer, I'm done.
I did.
What went through your head when you said those words?
Tears. A lot of tears. Yeah. And Mary was there, which was the biggest blessing. I hadn't seen her all day. I came back down and I just like, I held her shoulders. I was like, I can't do it. And she knew at that point, because of course everybody was trying to do everything to get me up, back out, caffeine pill, Advil, you're good to go. And as soon as I grabbed her and said, I can't, I think she finally realized, like, okay. And it was hard to say that, to admit that. But I think also I knew in my head, hey, I got up and I tried to go up. I didn't quit sitting down in the seat. So I was proud of myself that I had gotten that far on a really, really hard day. And also, I will say, y'all mentioned my training. I had never trained ever like I did to this race. I walked into the month of June and I was scared of what my training schedule looked like, because I had never done back-to-back days. I had never tried to climb as much as I was climbing. Everything was new leading up to the race, which was also new. So it was just a bunch of unknowns that I walked through. And I didn't try and take a shortcut anyway. I truly got up on Saturdays and Sundays and drove out to the Smokies and went up to LeConte multiple times and picked hard places to train because I knew it would prepare me. So yes, it was disappointing to like look someone in the eyes and say like, yes, I'm done. I'm quit. I'm not finishing. But also I tried to remember like that does not define you. It does not define your career in this sport.
Yeah.
Don't let it get to you, because look at all of the training that you've done leading up and look at all of the cool stuff that you've gotten to see. I had been in places like I've never been before in the Smokies, and I was by myself, which if you would have asked me last year if I would go out there by myself, I would have said, you are crazy. So there was a bunch of hurdles I made it through to even get to the race. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to cross the finish line, but I know dang well I will someday in the future.
Mm-hmm.
The very first DNF is hard.
Mm-hmm.
But because I I experienced my first DNF, and like I couldn't let it go for a couple of days. Like it just bothered me that I'd quit.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Also, at the same time, you kind of learn too that like that was the best I had on that day. That is not my best. Period.
Right.
You know, and that's the
good.
thing you have to remember. It's like your best on that day is all you can do. That doesn't mean that's your potential. That's just the new stepping stone of what you got to be better at next time. And it takes some DNFs or some hard lessons to really find out some of those big lessons of like what we can do better and how we be better. And sometimes hard lessons learned are mistakes that you never make again. And it's taken me a long time to learn that. And I know some people take pride on the fact that they've never had a DNF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care one bit about that. I think if you've not had a DNF, you need to go find something that scares the hell out of you and try to find a DNF because that is what's fun, is doing something that you don't know if you can finish it. And I am so proud of you for signing up for one of the hardest races around here.
Yep.
Thanks.
And basically almost double the distance you've ever done.
Yeah, I learned a lot. I think too, to your point, with a DNF, it causes you to reflect more because you're thinking through, okay, what could I have done differently? What areas could I improve upon? But also like it kind of lit a fire under me of like, okay, I claim like I'm strong mentally and I can push through things. I could not push through that. Like everything that I said about myself was stripped away. And all that was left was my physical body and the race in front of me. Like every part of me was stripped away. So now that I know that was the drawing line for me, it's like, okay, that next race, when I get to that point, I'm going to overcome that and find that next breaking point.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if you never hit a breaking point, challenge yourself a little bit more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go find the big adventure. And you did. And I think you're only going to be better because of it. You know, and that's needed. And I can't wait to see what your next big race is because you're going to do great. I'm sure that there's 100-mile buckle somewhere in your future, you know, like you're definitely going to go for it, I think.
She's very capable of it.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, guys.
But, you know, also know that it takes a lot of time to train for something like this.
Yeah.
So totally understand, like you may switch gears for a little while and do something else, which is totally fine. That's exactly what I've done for the last few years. And now I'm just now coming back to trails. Like I went and did, you know, try to do fast stuff for a while. But so what is your next big goal?
Yeah, it's a good question. And I would be lying if I said I was not still trying to like process that and process through everything. But as far as this year, kind of same as last, I want to go out to do Dirt Circuit. It's just a fun time with people. I'll do the 6 hour and then I'll be out at Barn Creek, which is exciting. I hope I do well. I feel like I've learned that style of racing a little bit better. It's last year. That was the first time I'd ever done anything like that. And then I truly think I'm going to shift gears because, like you said, Cherokee has been like my entire existence in this world, right? Like out there and me are tight. We're homies. And I should probably like take a step back because I'm getting a little too clingy. So I'm going to shift gears, and something about Midstate really fires me up because I love power hiking. Something about not being able to use poles and listening to stuff, like truly stripping everything away. Like it intrigues me to the point where I'm like, okay, I feel like that would be something that would really, really, really challenge me and is completely different than anything I've ever done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I could hate, but I could also love.
There's a great training race you can do for it.
In December, right?
It's in February.
February? Okay.
LC.
Wasn't sure when.
Are they bringing it back?
They said they were going to. They said it was only delayed 1 year.
What is it?
LC Enduro.
Oh man, it's a sweet race.
It's the same kind of format as Mid-State Mile. It's just right here, like in Ringgold, Georgia.
Yeah, right down the road.
Oh, nice.
And it's in a state park.
It's in LC Holmes Nature Center,
and they do it 100% of the funds go to a school.
Yeah.
So they do it all for that. Great race directors, and it's just it's a 2.5,
2.4, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's 2.4 mile loop with 400 feet of elevation gain, and you have 40 minutes to do a loop.
Okay,
and they
so
all
it's like
do a loop, and both ways it finishes uphill.
Yeah.
Oh,
there is no easier loop.
Yeah.
Or easier which way you leave.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
It's really hard. It's never made it to 100 miles.
Nope.
Wow. Is that put on by the same people?
No.
No, different.
Yeah, it's completely different.
Okay.
But it is such a cool race. It's
Yeah.
very mid-state vibe-ish.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's not, in my opinion, it's not as hard as mid-state because it's in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
But the time cutoff is harder.
Yeah, it's tough. That's quick.
Yeah.
There is no time for nothing.
So, usually when you hit 50 miles, there's about 5 or 6 of you left. That's it.
That's usually like the 2 years that I did it. Once I got to 50, I was in the top 5.
Yeah.
And it was like,
wow.
Then you go to 55.
But it's a lot of climbing.
It is a lot of climbing.
The one section, like I said, you run it alternate each time.
Mm-hmm.
In one section, there's a rope climb, like there's a rope, pull rope, and it's got stairs.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's really cool. It's a fun race.
I bet that would be cool.
So check it out. Like if you really want to do mid-state, that one would be a good trainer and a good idea of like how to do mid-state.
When I did those 2 races, that's when I did the best at mid-state because we trained at LC.
I'm telling you, if they don't bring LC back, we're going to put it on.
It's pretty
I was going to say, just go out there.
It is a great race.
Make a group run.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's so fun. Like I want to do it. I've told Mary, like my plan was to do it this year if they had it, and they didn't. But if they do it next year, I'm going to do it.
Well, the 2 years ago, 2 years ago, Donovan's birthday or Addie's birthday, they had the birthday party the same week, and I'm like, we got to figure this out. Like, we got to figure this out. And then, then they didn't have it the next year.
Yeah.
So
I'll keep an eye if they're going to have it. I'll let you know. You'll have to give it a look.
It's a fun one.
Yeah.
Really fun.
I'll look for sure.
Well, before we get into questions real quick, and I'll ask you a question in just a second, Taylor, and we'll turn it over to Matt. But, I do hope you do come back to the Cherokee 130K at some point, maybe a few years, but I hope you do.
Mm-hmm.
And, just perspective, like did you look at the DNF rate?
I did. All I know is there were 13 people that finished this year.
28 DNF'd, 13 finished. And it was actually the most DNFs we've ever had for the 70K too.
Really? Okay.
So we had 52 finishers for the 70K and 16 DNFs.
It was tough out there. It truly was.
Mm-hmm.
Very tough day.
A lot of people said the exact same thing you did. I know several people that started puking within 13 miles of the start.
Which is way too early.
Yeah. Like Zach Allen, he was a finisher last year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He dropped. He DNF'd.
Mm.
And that's what he said. Like everybody had stomach issues, poor Brian Vermillion, he got like vertigo out there. Kyle Calbus was having issues, and it was just, it was unfortunately like it was so hard of a day for everybody. So, but you got to come back.
I will be back. Don't you worry.
All right. Well, let's switch gears. We've had you on here long enough. Why do you run?
Ooh. It's the same reason I started coaching. I truly have been a firm believer my entire life, even more so into my adulthood, that if we're given an able body, we should use it to its fullest potential. So for me, what that looks like is I know that the Lord's blessed me with the opportunity to run. Why not see how far I can take it and glorify him through it all, because it truly is all him. It's all a gift. Every single day I wake up and I'm able to do it. It is a gift. And that's gotten me through some of the darkest times, even within the sport, because running is not always rainbows and butterflies. I don't care what anybody says. You do have terrible runs, but your body is still able and capable. So there's, of course, a bunch of different reasons, but that's my main reason.
I love it. And last question from me. Why, when did you decide and why did you want to become a coach? But when did you decide you wanted to be a coach?
So I heard the Lord tell me, you need to be a run coach. It was probably November. I'm getting my years mixed up. November of 2024. Yeah. Is that right? 2025. Yeah, 2025. Sorry, I'm getting my years all mixed up.
No, you're right. 24.
Yeah.
24, I am right. Yeah. Y'all, it's been a crazy couple years. 2024. And I didn't say anything because I was like, I'm new to this sport. Are you sure that's what you're telling me? Like, trying to play the game we all play when we hear something and we're like, nope, because we're scared, which I was scared. So I just kept praying about it, did not mention it to a single soul, to be honest with you. And I was in the gym January or February of 2025, and I was lifting with my friend Shauna, who is also my coworker, and she, out of the blue, said, you should be a run coach. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? It took that to prompt me to then, okay, like, I hear you, God. Like, I'm not going to try and shut the door on you again. I'll step into it. I was terrified as all get out. I don't know how to run a business. I don't know how to coach people. I've only been in this for X amount of years. I'm just an ordinary girl. I was making all the excuses I possibly could, right? So I brought it up to Mary, and Mary was like, of course, so supportive, because that's a huge thing with her, is she loves to coach coaches, but then also like female coaches, because there's not a lot of us out there. So she truly helped guide me into what course to take to get certified, how to open the business, all the things. And I knew from the get-go what I wanted to call it, because that had been laid on my heart. And the reason why it had been laid on my heart was because of a passage in James when it talks about running the race of endurance, because it produces more faith in him. So that's where endure coaching came from. That's where it stemmed from. So from there, it's funny when you listen to what God tells you to do, how all the doors just open, and they truly did for me, which I'm so thankful for. But taking that step of obedience then opened the door to having someone help me with all my branding that you guys see. I had a friend do that for me just out of the kindness of her heart. So truly made Endure come to life on social media platforms, but then also all the people that have come to me for coaching. It's truly just been word of mouth, which I've been so thankful for, because I do still have a full-time job that I need to have. I haven't really had to pour in a ton of time with marketing or outreach. People have come, and I've been so thankful and blessed to walk with people on their journey, whether it's been just starting running from the ground up or doing something they've never done before.
Yeah, you're so blessed in the fact that you found Mary to be your run coach, but also that you talked to her about coaching, because the one thing that I will say, like her true strength is like understanding and sharing with people. And that just comes with so much experience as far as like understanding how to troubleshoot things. And, I even now to this day, I still run stuff by her. I coach a few people, and that's it. I won't ever coach a lot of people because I have enough hobbies. I coach just enough to keep me refreshed, so that it stays on my mind. But like she is so good at coaching coaches, helping them. But it's really cool to listen to her talk to some of you guys sometimes, because I I'll just hear a couple of her conversations on occasion, and like it's so good because even coaches that have been coaching for a long time will call her and ask her questions, and that's just a gift to have been doing it for so long that you can, help diagnose or troubleshoot or give words of wisdom to how to help with something.
Right.
And, you can go out and get a coaching certification. Anybody can go out and get a coaching certification. That does not mean you're going to be a good coach.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And if you want to do that, you need to find someone to mentor you before you ever think about coaching anybody. And that's so important.
Yeah.
And I think you've done that really well.
Thanks.
Because the last thing that anybody ever needs to do is to write a plan or try to help coach somebody and get them hurt.
Right. Or like if they are becoming a coach and have never been coached themselves.
Yes.
I will never not be coached by someone as a coach.
Yeah.
At
And
all.
that's true. I mean, I have a coach, you have a coach, Mary has a coach. Like coaches have coaches because most of the time coaches don't want to write their own plans.
No.
And but I think you've done it in a very good way. And I'm so glad that you lean on Mary because she is such a good resource for that. So good job. Honestly, like you've done great. I know some of your runners and they're learning and doing great. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Thanks.
If someone does need coaching, how do they get a hold of you?
So there's 2 ways. I'm on Instagram. It's all Endure Coaching. So you can find me through my personal one. It's Hey, it's your gal Tay, and then it's linked, or you could look up Endure Coaching and it will pop up. I also have a website too. So that is endurecoach.com. And on both of those, there's a form to just submit, tell me a little bit about yourself, and then we'll set up a call.
All right, Mr. Williams. It's time for the interrogation to begin.
All right, we got 40.
What do these people want to know?
We got 45 questions here.
Whoa.
I'm just kidding.
I was like,
no, but you do got some good fans out here.
Oh, wow. She's got a lot.
She does got a lot. So the first one is, what advice would you give to someone attempting the Cherokee in the future?
if you can get out on the course at any point during your training, I would highly suggest that. Because I think just knowing what you're getting yourself into, it benefits you more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't get out there or get on any of the group runs, definitely work on your power hiking and work on walking up hills, not trying to run them, because that's going to save your body for the entirety of the race. So physically, that's what I would do. As far as fueling and when to train, people are going to hate me for saying this, but train in the hottest time of the day, whether that's after work or during lunch. I know I love to train in the morning, but that will prepare your body and your nervous system with the heat, but then also test your fueling, which you should do with every race, but test your fueling on those hot days, because that will ultimately be what race day is for y'all.
Very true. And we do have plenty of group runs that we put on out there.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is, this is kind of a compliment and a question, but how did you become such a badass mountain goat on the trail?
It started by, I would say, last year before the 70K. A lot of my Tuesday training before strength training was walking on a treadmill like this, just power hiking up a treadmill for Lord knows how many weeks. And of course, we all know that things brick stack, right? So that's truly where it first started. And I don't think I ever let that go, because that was really hard for me. I'd never done anything like that. So walking on incline, and then again, like even if it is the slightest incline out in your training, I would tell people to power hike it, because that's only going to make you better. And also it's not going to get you gassed in the long run. And it'll keep your heart rate down as well.
Good tips. All right, the next one is, what is the best training tips for those intimidated by increasing their mileage?
Go slow. And what I mean by that is not only go slow during your runs, but increase slow. I love the social media presence that ultra running has got. I think it's opened a bunch of doors for a bunch of people in the community. I will say, I think it's also hurt people in the fact that they feel like they need to do race after race after race. And that's not good for anybody, to be honest with you. Because even if your body is feeling recovered, your nervous system is jacked. You just did something crazy, like run 100 miles in the woods. You need to give your body time to properly recover. So when you're trying to increase your mileage, go at a slow rate, and maybe your final thing is like a big race, but by increasing slowly, you can work up to that. Don't feel like you need to do all of these little races in between to get you to that point. Hopefully that answered the question.
You're going to make Mary so proud.
She taught me everything I know, y'all.
No,
I
can,
owe that
I
woman
can hear Mary coming out of you, so it's
everything.
great.
I owe her everything.
I can no, it's amazing. Like
Yeah.
that is such. You said it perfectly. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
All right, the next one is: does wearing pink make you a better ultra marathoner?
I will say the
Personally-
pink hat was great. It was popping in the picture.
They are the best people. If y'all don't buy, like whoever's listening to this, if y'all don't buy your stuff from them, go buy your stuff from them, because just the people behind the brand are incredible. They sent me that, and I opened the package and I started crying because I was like, what, me? Like, just me? Pink just kind of became my thing, and I kind of just rolled with it. I think I started wearing it on like a training run, and then I picked out my outfit for Cherokee and put a pink bow on my pack and never turned back, because why not? It can be a girly pop in the woods, you know? Donna.
I know I've chased that little pink bow on her pack for I don't know how many miles at stump jump until she ran off and left me.
Yeah.
But yeah, a little pink bow just back here just bouncing around.
I will say Fooster is getting some new gels, Taylor.
Are they?
Yeah, you can mix the consistency yourself.
Wait, that's crazy.
Mhm.
What kind of science is that?
I know.
Magic science, unicorn science.
It's going to be great.
Okay.
All right, the next one is: if you could pick one lift to make you a better mountain goat, what would it be?
One lift.
Mm-hmm.
People are really going to hate this too. A Bulgarian split squat. Sorry, that's a very unpopular opinion.
I like it.
Great.
But
I like it.
It's great.
I will say
Do it a lot.
is I was going to say a back squat, but any single leg movement or unilateral movement is going to benefit you 10 times more than having both your feet on the ground.
Yep. I like split squats. All right. The next one is: what did you like more about the 130K compared to the 70K? Or did you like anything more?
What like more? For the miles that I had in the night, I enjoyed it. It was a different challenge because I finished the 70K before sunset, which was honestly the goal in the back of my head. I didn't have a time goal. I was just like, if I have to run in the dark, I'm not going to be okay, because I had never done that before. So I will say for this year, I did appreciate that time that I got to do that from the turnaround till Buckbald, because it was different for me. I had done one night run with Charles and Kat. We went out there, and Scott joined us for a little bit as well. But beyond that, like I've never run in the dark. So
well, you did.
It was a fun challenge.
Did have a badass pacer with you.
I did. Yes, I still was like, did I get paced by Jason Bailey? Like, that's crazy. he was talking to me about all the crazy stuff he's done, and I was like, why are you pacing me? Like, shouldn't you be out with like Laz right now? Hello?
Yeah, he's awesome. He's a good dude.
He's awesome.
I didn't know he came out there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mary coaches him too.
Well,
so
yeah.
Taylor was looking for somebody, and I think Mary was like, I think Jason Jason would be great.
So
Yeah, she said that he would never run Cherokee because the heat. And I was like, well, it's not hot at night, so...
well, maybe that's just the introduction we needed to get him to come out here and try the 70K.
There you go. Don't shoot the messenger.
Well, put it out there in the void. All right, this one is, what did you learn about yourself from the 130K?
Ooh,
That's a good question.
that is a really good question. I would say that I don't give my body enough credit for what it can do. Kind of alluded to it at the beginning of the podcast. I struggle deeply with imposter syndrome of like a, whoa, did I just do that type deal. So I think that I learned that my body is capable of a heck of a lot more than I think, but it's a matter of getting my head in line with that, because I self-sabotage of like oh, I can't do that, or oh, that race is too big for me, or oh, I can't run 100 miles, when like that's not true. Why am I speaking that over myself, right? I'm my biggest doubter, and I shouldn't be. So that's a battle I have constantly. I will say the 130K shifted my mindset a little bit more, especially DNFing with more in the tank. I was like, no, I'm capable. I just need to get there up here.
Yeah.
That's a great answer.
All right, this is, we got 2 more questions left.
Wow, boy,
Okay.
she had a lot. I think it's the most questions we've had.
It's good. I told you she got some fans out there.
Yeah.
All right, this one says, they love the combination of grit and grace mentioned on the Endure coaching site.
Mhm.
What does grit and grace look like in practical application from her perspective?
That's really good. Grit and grace to me is doing the things that we do, like the hard miles, the tough miles, the grittiness to not quit, but then also being graceful enough to have conversations like we're having, and to volunteer at races like people do, and to be out in the community. I think our entire community is just full of joy. That makes sense.
Mhm.
But also, if you look at the people, we have pretty, excuse my language, badass people
Mhm.
that are really gritty. And a lot of gritty people outside of this community aren't as nice or aren't as joyful as the folks that are in this community. So when I was thinking of a tagline for Endure coaching, grit and grace made sense because it's everybody that I have the opportunity to coach. I want to equip them with the tools that they need to succeed, but not allow them to lose sight of the true reason why they're doing it, and what an opportunity and a blessing it is to be able to do it and to have the grittiness to push through things that they've never thought they could push through. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yep. All right, this is the last question. Did the race live up to the hype? Was it harder than you expected?
It always lives up to the hype. I think that, I will say that course chews a lot of people up and spits them out. Like a lot. I mean, you could see it just from the numbers. So it lives up to the hype. What was the last part of that question?
Was it harder than you expected?
I would say yes, from a mental perspective. I think my body was physically ready. Mentally, I hit a roadblock I'd never hit before. And that's something I'm learning a lot from, and something that I will take into the next race. So when I hit that roadblock again mentally, I'll know, hey, no, like, keep going, you can push through it and find the next roadblock.
That's what we're doing.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
the goal.
That's how you
Yep.
build up.
I have one more
That's
question.
how
Why did you want to be on the team?
Look at y'all. Look at everybody. I mean, I truly... Gone Loco was my first, like, true ECA event, if you will. And then I went on a couple of the group runs, and I showed up to the group runs not knowing anybody. And I was also in a very vulnerable position life-wise, where I was trying to figure out a lot of stuff. And I was welcomed with open arms. And I didn't know any of these people, but I became fast friends with so many individuals. And then come to find out they were all part of ECA. So after Cherokee and then going out and volunteering at Fort Frenzy and then running Dirt Circuit, you just start seeing these people more. And now it's not just these people, like these people are my people and my friends. So I just firmly believe in everything that ECA stands for. I firmly believe in the community. I'm honored to be a member of the team. And I hope, if anything, that I can be that person for somebody that walks in new too. Like if someone's never run a trail race before and they're maybe scared out of their mind to do so and they show up to an ECA event, I hope I can be that open arm to them, for them to then feel welcomed. And then for them to also recognize like, oh, hey, maybe I could do way more than I ever thought I could. Because that was me. I never thought I'd run the 130K, but it was because of folks that are a part of ECA that I at least attempted it.
I feel like she just filled out her application for next year.
There we go. Copy that.
No, great answer. I was just curious because like you are fairly new, to trail running, and you didn't really know a lot about us until you started running, and coming to some events. So I was just curious what your perspective was. I'd never really asked you that. So
No, like
Y'all got really cool people.
For your point, like at the group runs, I mean, when you came, it didn't feel like you were new. It felt like you were just right there at every one of them. So it's good.
Thanks.
And that's just how we try to make everything feel.
Yeah.
And that's how it should feel.
Yep.
No one should ever feel like they're out of place. And if you do, you're at the wrong event.
Exactly. I agree 100%. And I hope everybody else feels that when they walk into an ECA event. They should.
I hope so.
Hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Taylor, it has been an honor to have you on here and to get to listen and learn more about you. I'm sorry that we went an hour and 40 minutes. I literally just talked about this before we did the podcast. So, but just because we went an hour and 40 minutes doesn't mean I'm not going to give you the option here. Do you have any questions for us?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I feel like if I ask a question, we're going to be on here for like 2.5 hours, which is fine.
That's okay.
Okay, David, because I truly don't know this, David. I feel like I don't know much about your life before you met Mary, but how did you get into ultra running and why for you?
So in 2015, I went through a really bad divorce. That's when I started running. And my running was not what you would think was running. It's kind of started in 2014. And I started running. I'd never ran ever. Ever.
Wow.
I literally bought a pair of shoes to run in, and I started running a mile, like 3 days a week around my subdivision.
Okay.
And I thought that was amazing.
Right.
And that 1 mile eventually turned into Mike Taylor being like, hey, you want to run a 5K with me? And I didn't know Mike. Mike and I went to church together. Our kids were friends. Me and Mike had never really talked much. That's how me and Mike became friends. We started doing runs training runs together. And we started running everywhere in Massville. Hell, you would see us running down the highway, and we were running we'd get to 5 miles and 6 miles. And then we started running half marathons. And I finally was like, let's do a bigger race. And he's like, whatever you want to do, just let me know. And, at this time I'm in the middle of this divorce, and it's just, all I'm doing is running. You have to find a way to cope with things. And a lot of people find running because something has happened in their life.
It's very true. Very true.
And that doesn't mean that's why you continue to run.
Right.
But we all have a reason of why we started. And that was mine. And I just remember I didn't know it would ever turn into this, but there used to be a race called Xterra. And it was at Imes.
Really?
and it was a half marathon. And Xterra used to be here in Knoxville as well, and it was put on by the same people that became Dirty Bird events.
Yep.
That's why they became Modus. Xterra ended up dropping the Knoxville races, and Dirty Bird picked up and created their own and started their own Modus series, and it was really cool. But at the time, it was Xterra. And we signed up for this trail half marathon. I do not run trails at this point. I had no idea. I showed up with a Walmart hydration pack.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And like starter shorts. And, you know, I hadn't been running long. I didn't have gels. I didn't have anything. I had that water.
Just
like
water.
Water. That was it. And it was awful. Of course, me and Mike started out at like a 7-minute pace on this half marathon that I had no reason to be doing. I walked half that half marathon.
Oh, man.
It was 3 hours and 30 minutes is how long it took me.
Whoa. Wow.
And calves were cramping. Hamstrings were cramping. It was the worst thing. I mean, I was so humbled. Mike beat me by like an hour. And,
Dang.
Maybe, it was probably close to an hour. And from that point, I started running more and more and more. And within I remember the next year I went back to Xterra and I shaved an hour and a half off my time.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it just kept going from there. Then I signed up for Pistol 50K. That was my first 50K. And then Mike talked me into the Firewater 100K. And from there, it just turned in. I mean, we even drove to Alabama one time and did a it's called Last at the Lake, a 50K there. Like we just started picking races and we did Zion 100 together.
Wow.
But it was all because I started going through that divorce and I'd always lifted weights. And you know, it's a whole different reason of why I run now. And I'm so thankful for it. And if you would have asked me in 2017, I think 2017 was my first 50K. You know, I've been running for like 2 years, I think.
Right.
If you would have asked me then, would start a podcast? Would we start at East Coast Adventures? Would we? No.
Right.
Would I run 300 miles across Tennessee? No, like never. But man, what a blessing it has been to get to see the community that I've been able to be a part of the start. It's how we met Matt. You know, Matt signed up for our very first race. That's how we met Matt. He saw our flyer at a gym that he was going to.
That's awesome.
And he showed up it was actually a virtual race, but we hosted it in person too. And Matt showed up, and then Matt ran every one of our races for like a year and a half. And then finally we just, you know, I think the second year we were like, Matt, come help us. And, you know, and Matt's been a part of it. And then, you know, everybody in my life at this point now, I've met through running, like Chris Damon.
Yep.
I met him at Firewater the same day I met Mary.
Really?
I did not know Chris Damon at all.
Partners. Yeah.
Met them both at our aid station.
Okay.
That was the year Chris won Firewater.
Yep.
Right.
And it's sad that they both do. I drink. So Mary brought me beer because she had beer left over. She had brought me her beer to the aid station, and Chris actually brought me the vodka he won at the race. So they both knew I drink, so they just dropped it off, you know. And I was like, well, I don't know if this is good or bad, but it's just really cool because it has become so much more to me than I ever thought running would be. And I don't mean it's not like something that I need. But it's something that I want because I feel like it's a part of who I am now, as far as being able to, you know, be in the community and be a part of the community and be a family to something and be a part of something. And I think in today's time, that is the most important thing that we are missing.
Community, for sure.
Is getting to be a part of something that's real.
Yeah.
And, you know, going out and meeting people and doing stuff. And like Matt hosts a lot of these group runs, you know, and that's important. And then the races, and just getting the volunteers in the community out. It's so important to physically be around people and to be around kind people.
Yeah.
So important. And I'm just super, it's super humbling for me to be able to sit here and be a part of the start of this, and I feel like we're just getting started.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
That's so good.
Sorry, that was a long answer.
No, it's okay. Matt, I'll ask a different question that came up, or what I would love to know, because I feel like we all learn different things from our running careers. What would you say has been the biggest thing you've learned about yourself through ultra running?
Man. Oh man. Well, growing up, all I did was like shorter races, and so it was more cross country, more track, and you do them, you're done. Doing my first 50K and running 13 miles and then walking for hours, that showed me that I could keep going. And then as I progressed into the longer stuff, the 100 milers, I learned I could talk myself out of quitting, because I would tell myself in between those aid stations, I'm done when I get there. Like I'm done with this. I'd get there, I forget I quit. I'd start getting my food and all that, and I'd start walking back out. Well, dang it, I can't quit now. I got to go to the next one. And then
Right.
I tell myself the same thing. When I get to this next one, I'm done. And then you get there and you do the same thing. You're like, well, I'm already here. I might as well keep going. I have done that in so many races that some of them have turned out to where I've actually performed well. And then some of them where I'm like, okay, at least I finished. But I think that what I've learned a lot is, even though when I think it's over, as long as I can keep moving and keep pushing to that next aid station or the closer to the finish line, then I could finish it. And not let me talk myself into quitting, because I've tried a lot, and there's always more in the tank. I mean, 2 or 3 aid stations later, you can be running 7-minute miles again.
Right.
But it's just getting to that point.
Right. That's good.
Remember
good. So
that Saturday.
It's aid station Saturday.
Good luck.
For everybody that's listening, it's going to be a shit show on Saturday.
It sure will be.
It is.
Tune in.
It is the race directors challenge of the Cherokee. So we've been asked to run our own race. So we're doing the 70K, and we're all in. So here we go.
Y'all are gonna do great.
We are undertrained. Completely undertrained. I am, at least.
We got the best volunteers, though.
We do. So how it started was, my wife has got this great idea to get the running team to do our aid stations. And of course, the running team would love to see all of us out there
Succeed.
suffering. So they're going to be our aid stations, and it's going to be fun.
It'll be a good time.
And painful. I can't wait to see the group messages after the race, because I'm sure during it the updates are going to be, Matt's threw it 5 times. Mike's laying on the ground. David's doing this. Chris is doing that. Micah's running like crazy. I mean, it's like going back and just reading all these are going to be entertaining. So
yeah, I mean, you got to remember, David hasn't finished a trail run. I've not finished a trail race yet since I went back to trail racing.
Wait, what?
I DNF'd Pinhoti, and I DNF'd my last run at No Business.
Yeah.
And then I've been running. Then I did Yeti 100 and all those. I've not finished.
Third time's the charm. Third time's the charm. You're gonna finish.
Both.
Hey, guess what? There is no time cap.
No, they're holding us to it.
Yeah, we got to hit the red cutoffs.
Oh yeah.
I just need my ankle to hold up. Both DNFs have been my ankle, so I feel like I've given it plenty of time.
Well, this is a smooth course.
It is.
There's no rocks.
Buttery.
There's no rocks. There's no rocks.
Matt's lying to you. Not the first 15 miles.
There's no rocks.
You know, that's actually my favorite part of the whole course.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I love it.
It's gorgeous.
Every year when we flag it, I usually get that section, and I love it.
The first 5 miles, yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
You just have to go slower.
Except for having to beat the weeds down in the one section. But other than that, it's great.
Oh, I think I weed whacked from Unicoi up,
Mm.
I mean, it seemed like an hour of weed whacking up there. It was
yeah.
rough.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah. So hopefully it's not all grown back since July 18th.
I would imagine it's trampled down pretty well. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but-
probably okay.
yeah,
That's a couple of weeks ago. I mean, that stuff out there grows like it's got Miracle Grow on it.
well, it's fine. We just keep the ticks away from us.
That is not going to happen.
Did you by chance see, before we go,
Mhm.
did you get to see the rattlesnake, the copperhead, or the bears?
So I ran into the turnaround, and my mom told me after the fact. Her and my boyfriend were sitting there for like 2 hours before I got there, and everyone was like, "Did you see the bear and the cub? Did you see the bear and the cub?" I did not see a bear and a cub at all. Thank God, because that would have freaked me out. But I didn't hear about that till after the fact, and then my friend Alex was the one that ran up on the rattlesnake. So
Mhm.
she had all the stories for me after.
Mhm.
She's like, she texted me. I was not checking my phone, but I had a text from her saying, "Watch out, there's a rattlesnake at whatever." And then I saw the picture and I was like, that doesn't belong here. What in the world? Crazy. So crazy. Hopefully y'all don't run up on that.
Like we joked about it all week marking. We're like, we have as many trail runs, group runs, marking, just running in general out there. We never saw a bear.
We've never seen anything.
No, I mean nothing.
Well, now I've ran up on wild hogs.
Yeah, wild hogs. I mean
That's scary.
that's general though. They're out
Yeah,
there.
they weren't bad. They just ran away.
They ran away. Yeah.
And then I ran up on a bobcat.
No, thank you.
Scary.
Well, the bobcat was same. He looked at me or she, whatever it was, and just was like, "Yeah, you're too nasty," and just walked. Like it was just like it looked
Yeah.
at me and just kept running. But it did stop. Like it was actually on Old Furnace Road.
No way.
I was coming down with Cheesy, and I was coming back down to the
Right.
beach, and it was actually the first day of the race, the first year.
Okay.
We started the race, and I wanted to. I just ran up there real quick to do something. I can't remember, and I was running back down, and the bobcat ran out, and I was like, "Oh wow, that's cool." But he
I
just stopped
would've
and looked at me and took off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now I
They're
will
running-
say the wild hogs though, like it was a mama, and she had a bunch of little piggies, so it was like,
Well, we saw those, but we were out
Yeah.
there in the early stages of scouting the Cherokee course. Me and David were running, and we came across some mom and a whole bunch of little babies.
yeah.
And then
That's
last
scary.
year when I was doing we were picking up some of the flags and making sure the course was all good on that Saturday. I came across one, and I mean they run away, but they are pretty loud when they're out
Yeah.
there.
I mean that first year, Matt and I were out there every weekend,
Yep.
running the
Mhm.
trails because we had to run the whole trail to make sure it actually could piece together.
Yep.
Would work. Right.
And we got several things wrong. We had to go back and redo the thing because
One little section,
the Forestry Service was like, nope.
half a
and-
mile.
So we ran it so many times, and I mean, literally every weekend we were doing a run up there. Matt and I were, and
Mhm.
Nothing.
we didn't see. I mean,
Nothing.
I've never seen a bear up there.
Nope.
So when Michelle Gray and everybody told me that, I was like, wow, that's
Crazy.
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Side note, so we're not on here for another 30 minutes. Y'all should do a history of the Cherokee course of how it came to be, how you actually mapped it. I would love to hear that story of how you pieced it together, the roadblocks you ran into before it gets 10 years down
Yeah,
the
we
line.
may have to
and
do
this
that one
thing
day
never
because it was
over.
never going to be
It'd be so
this.
cool.
Yeah,
We were actually just going to put on a 50K.
55K,
and it was gonna be
150.
an out and back. It was originally just going to be the John Muir Trail.
John Muir Trail.
We were literally just going to do the John Muir
yeah.
Trail, and then
Okay.
it turned into this.
It's so cool. I would love to hear how
We'll have
it
to-
all
We'll have
got.
to get Mike in here too. That way we can make it
Yeah.
a fun night.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
The first one we did was rough. It was
Oh, I bet.
rough.
Oh yeah, we didn't take enough water. We
We
ran
take
out of
water
water.
and take no food.
Y'all told me about that. Someone did. It might have been you, Matt, on a group run.
It was
You were
awful.
talking about how y'all ran out of everything.
We ran out of everything.
Yeah, we were going on a 12-mile run that turned into 20.
Turned it
Yeah,
turned
right.
into the group run that we do, the 20 mile.
Right.
That's what it turned
We
into.
ran with
Right.
2 bottles. That was
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Oh
It was
no.
Right.
awful.
Yeah. That's not
That's
good,
a
guys.
good idea. We'll do that.
Yeah.
Well, Taylor, thank you so much. It's been
you,
awesome
guys.
having you on, getting to learn your story and
Mhm.
learning a little bit about your experience with Cherokee. So that was fun to hear. Wish you the best. We know you got some big races coming up. I'm sure you'll plan something, but we'll definitely see you at the dirt circuit. And are you coming to Fort Frenzy?
I might be volunteering.
Okay.
Question mark.
Good
Stay
deal.
tuned.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We'll be
Well,
there
if
either way.
not, we'll see you at the dirt circuit, but maybe we'll see you
Yes.
at the fort. But thank you
Yeah.
so much. And we
Yeah.
appreciate your time, Taylor.
Thanks,
Of
Taylor.
course. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.